Hi enjoyers! Today we are going to create our advanced material for grassland. Of course we don't create only for grassland, we'll create some universal type of material, and the results you can see right now here. And also I removed our created material because we need something different. This is me from future. If you want to get my completed projects and created assets, you can subscribe to my Patreon. There you can find some assets and projects from my videos. I would appreciate any support. So let's start. Let's go to our own material. I deleted our created material. We can also delete. It doesn't matter anymore. Let's create new one. So let's double click here. This is our material. Let's make this one use material attributes, and then let's create our landscape layer blend and connect it to here. Okay, now we need to create our layers. I'm going to call first one is a layer 1. Next one I'm going to call this layer 2. Next one I'm going to call, layer 3. And last one I'm going to call layer road. We need 4 layers because foliage we will use with layer 1. Okay, now we need to create our layers. First of all, we need to call make material attributes and connect this one to here. And we can also call our textures, but we don't need it to do right now. Let's create our material functions, because we need 2 material functions. First of all, we need to get rid of the tiling, and second one, we need the macro variation for creating variations for far distant textures. So let's start with the texture tiling. What we need to do, we need to create material function. Let's go to the material function, and here we go. I am call this material process, like this. Open it. Now we can call here texture bombing. This node is designed to fight against tiling. You can double click here and see result. You can see there is a messy different type of tiles with the same texture, and texture actually is here, this texture. So this function is created to fight against tiling. It just rotates differently our texture and cut it in different places, so we get something like hexagon but with random shapes. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to click on all our texture samples and make it shared wrap. I've already shared wrap it in other projects, so this is engine content, so it will save for different projects as well. So you can do this only once. So you need to shared wrap, and shared wrap. You don't need texture samples with from texture asset. This is problem. You need to get rid of it. So use wrap. Then when you do this, also you can close this one, and we need to connect result here. This is all we need, and we need to create all these parameters. First of all, texture object. So I'm going to use input function. So function input name, I'm going to call this texture, and connect this one to here. I can't connect because this is a vector 3. Input type change to texture 2D. Now I can. Excellent. UV, tiling, and offset. This is 3 parameters. We need to call each other in this order. So I'm going to call input again, input, and this must be scalar parameter. I'm going to change this exactly like UV scale and change sort priority to 1, because this must be below texture. Next one is tiling. I can just duplicate this one and change name. Name is tiling, and connect this one to here. Then I can call offset. This is offset. And let's change here priority to 2 and 3. Okay, this I will show you later how it works. Optional height map we don't need, and contrast we can just create constant, and this is it, and connect this one to here. And this must be 0.5. Okay, we need preview texture, so I can call here texture object. This is a texture object. This is default texture, it's alright. Now we need this input again. Input function input, and this is static bool, as you can see, and change this name to is normal map. We need this node because we have normal maps. So I'm going to do next one. There's, you can see, missing preview connection. Also we need to call here static bool, and like this. Okay, now we have everything we need. Apply this and save. For some reason I forgot to add landscape codes and multiply node as in our previous material, so please add these nodes and then multiply with our UV scale, and then we can call it here. But also we need one another texture, material function, which is macro variation. So I'm going to create material function, macro variation. Alright, open it, and now we need to go to our starter content material and find out this material metal gold. There is already created material with macro variation, and this is perfectly matched multipliers, so I don't need to create this by myself. I can use this already created one. Also you can change this texture if you want, but I don't think we need this, so I just going to use this one. I'm going to select this all stuff, multiplier also, without this one, so I need only this part, plus multiply. So I'm going to Control C, and here in macro variation Control V. So this is our actual macro variation. Also you can see here these texture samples, and you can see sample source is from texture set. We need to change this as well. So I'm going to select all three of them. I'm selecting all three of them, and then I deselect Control and left click on this three section. You can see sampler source wrap. Okay, now this is wrap, and wrap. Okay, excellent. This is what we need. And we need to create here input for our base color. So I'm going to call here input, and this is vector 3 because our color is vector 3. So this must be base color, and result must be final base color. Okay, apply, save, close, and here in the landscape master we can go to our own material and call every single created functions. Then we need macro variation at the end only for base color. Okay, then what we need to connect this one to here, and also we need to create these nodes 3 times. So I'm going to duplicate 1 and duplicate 2 3 times because we have 3 textures, as you can remember. If not, you can go to the Megascans surfaces. We have 5 different type of landscape. So let's open Mosaic ground. You can see 3 textures. This is it. So what we're going to do, let's close metal gold. This one we don't need this. No, and let's go. First of all, we need to create our Oh, actually our normal map is not what we want. Let's go to our material process, and here we don't change our priority. As you can see, this is priority 3, this must be 4. Apply and save, and now you can see it goes under all our nodes. So texture is 1, UV scale, timing offset as we created. This is why we need to make our sort priority 1 to 3, etc. So let's come back and the landscape material, close our function, and here let's create our first parameter. We can create texture object parameter and call this one layer 1 base color. Right, and we need to create new group. I'm going to call this one point 01 and then layer 1. And priority, I can actually change it, or I can left it like this. Let's change it to priority 2. Then we need to create scalar parameters for the 3 parameters, but actually we can create just one vector parameter, and I will show you why. Vector parameter, and now this is adjustments, layer 1. This is wrong, adjustments like this. Okay, now we have X, Y, and Z, and actually we can use these 3 instead of 3 scalar parameters. So I'm going to name this UV scale here in channel names. If you don't know where it is at the end of this parameter properties. Then I'm going to change tiling, and here I need to call this offset. Okay, now we have our parameters. We can connect these 3. We can't connect this one, this is not what we need, and because this is also a static boolean, so I need to call static boolean. So I just call static bool, and I'm not going to make this a parameter because our normal map is always this one, and this is always base color, so this is always false. So okay, we let this like this. Then we can use this adjustment layer again for this 3 because it doesn't change. So I'm going to duplicate this one and connect all 3 here. Then we need a texture parameter. I can use this one, Control D, and instead of base color I'm going to change this to normal. Okay, then I can change default texture to normal. I'm going to use word normal, and you can see it here's T normal. This is standard normal map, so I can connect it here. Okay, well, we have our normal texture. This is our normal map, so I'm going to click here, Control D, and this static boolean must be checked because this is normal map. Alright, I'm going to connect the final result directly to normal. We don't need macro variation for our normal. This is only for base color. Okay. Last one is ORD. ORD is not a simple texture like this tool. I'm going to explain it later. So let's use our created parameters. I'm going to uncheck this one because this is not normal, and connect this to this and this to this, and we need another texture. I'm going to call here another parameter, connect this one here, and here we need to change normal to ORD. And also I'm going to change priority also must be changed actually. Let's check it out. This is our number 2, this must be number 1 because this is overall for every single texture. So this must be 1. This static bool has no priority, this must be 3, and ORD must be 4. Okay, so let's change this or this default texture. I'm going to use mask. No, I need exact mask, so I'm going to change it to default. This must be mask, yeah, like this, masks. Okay, This is it. Let's connect this one to our... Oh wait, there's a problem. You know what? Because ORD is not a simple texture, now time to explain. O means occlusion, R means roughness, and D means the displacement. So ORD is occlusion, roughness, displacement. So we have here displacement, we have here roughness, and we have occlusion. And every channel here, like this, for example, this is kind of similar to our ORD. This must be our occlusion, this must be our roughness, and this must be our displacement. But we don't have displacement in Unreal Engine 5 point anything, except maybe future some versions, but for 5.3 it is not available, so displacement we don't use. What we use our X and Z, so we can call mask, and we also create another mask and connect it also here. And here we need to change this to green. This is our roughness, and if I change it, this one, this is occlusion, and occlusion is below, so I need to connect R here, and green I need to connect to roughness. Okay, this is all our textures. Also, we need to create some specular, but we don't have textures, so I'm going to create constant and connect this one to here. And let's make this one 0.5, just the average. Okay, this is our first layer. Then let's create our different layers so we can actually duplicate this one. Let's make this something like this. Let's call this one name, and call this one layer 1. This is our layer 1. We can disconnect and connect here. Excellent. Now we can command this, use letter C, and you can call this layer 1 and bubble up like this. Okay, now we have commented section layer 1, and here I can call layer 1 name and connect it here. Okay, well, this is cool. Let's move on. We need to create another layer, so we can just duplicate this stuff without this name. Ctrl D. This is our next layer. All we need is change names, so I'm going to make this layer 1 layer 2, and group I need to change also layer 2, and that's it for this parameter. Also this adjustment layer 2, and I need to make group layer 2. Then normal. Oh, this is wrong. We need to change, first of all, not a group. We need to change first name and then layer, because otherwise this change also this one. For example, you can already see layer 1 normal is group 2. So let's make it layer 1, and this must be also layer 1. Alright, let's back to our layer 2. This must be not this one, we need layer 2, so I'm going to connect everything here. Then this must be layer 2, and this is also layer 2. This must be this one, and connect everything like this. Okay, this is another layer, so I can name this name layer 2. And this is it actually, because for next layers we need to do exactly the same, so I can just skip that part where I create another 2 layers for our material, and you know already how to create it. Alright, I have created all 4 layers. I hope you also created your layers. So let's move on. Let's check out our landscape. I'm going to create a material instance, because we need material instance to control our universal material. So save all, excellent. Now let's click on our landscape and add here landscape material. Oh wait, we need to change this to not landscape material instance. We need to make this grassland, because this is exactly our grassland material. So I'm going to add this one, and we can see completely black landscape. Let's add some layers. So I'm going to the landscape, paint, and we don't have layers. Let's remove these layers because we don't have them anymore. Let's change them, and this one too. All right, now we can create these layers, but let's firstly assign our materials. So I'm going to double click on material, grassland. Let's go to the selection mode, mega scans, and we have already our textures. So let's use what we have. I also downloaded this one, rocky ground, because our gravel don't look so good. Let's use first of all our muzzy ground. I click here, drag and drop here, grassland, and you can see here we have complete control of our layer. So I'm going to activate everything. Also, I'm going to change UV scale to 0.5, and offset, let's make 5. Okay. Then I'm going to click on mossy grass and click here. Then with this one, this is a normal. You can make this one like this, and this is our ORD. Save. Now we have grass. Let's go to layer 2. Layer 2 is soil. Let's also adjust it. For example, this must be 0.5. Offset we can make also 5. This is not so important. Let's change our texture. I'm going to use this regular grassy ground. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's move on. Layer 3. This is also like this. We can adjust this later. And let's move on. This is our gravel. So I'm going to click here, gravel. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's move on. Final one is the road. Road also. Let's make 0.5, 0.5, and 5, and activate this one. And let's change this moment. I'm going to use this, this, and this. Okay, our material is ready. Let's go to the landscape. Now we have our layers. Let's click here and create our shade assets. Again and again. And again. Alright, save this one. And let's do not close, let's keep it. And you can see this is our landscape. And I'm going to click here. For getting this point, you can use here new editor window, and also you can go to the advanced settings. Here you can click on common resolution monitor and click here, and you will get exactly this one, and also check this one. Then close and click here, and you will get this screen. You can see this is a full screen preview, and also watch. You can see our material is pretty much perfect. Let's also check out some other layers. Let's save all. Alright, let's remove this foliage, grass and gravel. This is not what we want. So click on all of this stuff. No, wait, soil. Okay, let's keep it for now. Let's change our landscape, manage. import, and let's re-import our textures. So I'm going to use height map, which is wizard. Then grass is foliage. Where is this one? Import. Okay, now let's use this three. Wait, which one is a protrusion? I guess this one. Wait, let's check it out. We need to avoid our problems. Layer rolled is layer 4. This two is soil and protrusion. Okay, so let's go to them. Import. This is protrusion. This is soil. And last one is wizard flow. Import. Alright, you can see now landscape looks pretty much solid. Let's add some foliage. I'm going to use kite demo or wall demo collection, as it's called for now. So you can import it. I will show you that asset later. Alright, I'm going to use this open wall demo collection, also known as kite demo. So add project, and I'm going to use it in my project. So this is our well landscape. I'm going to use 5.2 version for my project, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to add. Alright, I have downloaded kite demo. So let's back to our editor. Here you can see kite demo. This is why it's called kite demo. So here we have some different type of environmentals, for example cliffs, foliage, trees, rocks, and so on. We need here only grass. We don't need trees and rocks, because when you use material as a foliage creator, you don't have spawned collisions, so your character can walk through it. And for grass it is alright, because you can go through grass and it's okay. But for trees you can't go through tree, so there's a problem. And that's why we don't use trees in our material. So let's call here grass output, landscape grass output, and let's call layer sample. Layer 1, because our layer called layer 1. This is our grass. We can connect it here. Apply here, save. We need to create grass type. So let's move to our own material. Right click, foliage, landscape grass type, LGT, landscape grass type, grassland. Alright, open it. I will add only 3 different pieces. You can use as much as you want. So first one is a grass, field grass. I'm going to use 300 density, and also I'm going to start column distance increase to 12,000 to 12,000. Alright, this is it. Also scale I can change 0.8 to 1 to 0.22. Yeah, this is first one. Let's add some flowers. Do we have some flowers? Buttercup, for example. Let's change density to 40, and here also 40, and call distance, let's have 10,000 as well. Okay, scale you can change if you want. I will keep it almost the same. And here also let's try use different flower. Let's have, I don't know, heather maybe, or maybe yarrow. Let's use yarrow. Okay, I'm going to use this 10, call distance 12,000, and here also 12,000. Alright, and this one also 12,000. Then let's check out here. This is okay. Here we also need 12,000. Alright, let's move to the end here. Let's keep it 1. Alright, click here, in our material landscape grass, we can now add landscape grassland. Apply, save, and click on grassland, and you must see our grass. Okay, waiting for preparing shaders, and yeah, now I can click here, and our grass spawned only on the grass layer. And this is soil, and that's why you can see this blank space. Alright, let's add soil to our grass landscape as well. I'm going to duplicate this one and change layer 2. We don't need on the protrusion, and we don't need on the road, so we need only 2 layers. I'm going to just add one to another and then connect it here. Alright, apply, save, grassland, and this is it. Actually, this is our grassland. You can increase your density of grass so you can have better quality. For example, let's little bit adjust our grass, but remember, this changes your performance heat, so if you add more density, performance will drop, so be careful with it. Alright, I think this is alright. You can also add trees, you can also add some rocks, for example, on the protrusion. I like to do that, so sometimes I add rocks exactly on this type of surface, and it perfectly fits. So now this is our landscape. You can see it looks pretty beautiful, and we don't create this manually, we just spawn this automatically. For trees and rocks that needs collision, you need to create procedural spawner, but it is not our topic today. So this is it. I hope you enjoy. If so, hit the like button, leave the comment, subscribe the channel, and enjoy. See you later.